Yesterday, the moon leaned softly on my shoulder and whispered, "She still doubts you." I smiled with pain hidden under silence. Because love cannot defend itself with words anymore. She doubts my love, though my eyes still kneel before her. Though my heart still beats her name in secret prayer. Every breath I take is carved with her memory. Yet she walks away, thinking I never cared. What proof does she need beyond my sleepless nights? Beyond the poetry that bleeds her image into every verse? She doubts the sky that shelters her dreams. And forgets that my soul burns in that same sky for her. I remember the day she smiled and said, "You're mine." The world became a soft hymn of peace and promise. But now her silence is louder than storms. And I drown in questions she never asks aloud. She doubts my love, though I never lied. Though I never looked at another with the same eyes. She doubts the sincerity of my trembling hands. That once held her as if holding an entire world. I wrote her name on the wind of Dubai. Let the dunes carry it toward the endless sea. But the wind returned, whispering her fears. She doesn't believe you anymore. I asked my heart, why does she doubt me? It replied, because love so pure is rare. And people doubt what they cannot understand. Still, I ache for her trust more than her touch. She doubts my love, but I do not doubt her pain. Perhaps she was once betrayed by promises before me. Perhaps she hides her wounds behind those cold eyes. Afraid that my warmth, too, will fade with time. I cannot blame her for her fears. I can only love her through them. If she doubts my love, then I'll let my silence speak. For silence, too, can hold eternal devotion. She once asked me, would you still love me if I left? And I said, I would love you even from death's shore. She laughed, not knowing my words were truth. Not knowing I have already died 1,000 times for her. I remember her scent, it lingers like poetry unspoken. Like a verse half written in my trembling hand. Even the stars pause when I whisper her name. And still, she doubts that I love her. Every morning, I send her unspoken messages through light. Through the blue sky that remembers her smile. The birds sing her beauty in hidden languages. And the desert knows how much I miss her voice. She doubts my love, yet I've never doubted her grace. I've seen angels kneel before her reflection. And I've heard the universe sigh when she frowns. Still, she says, your love is just words. If my love were words, they'd carve mountains. They'd light the oceans and stop time's cruel hands. But she wants proof of a heart that bleeds unseen. She wants to touch what only faith can feel. I watch her from afar, not to possess, but to protect. I want her to live without fear, without tears. If she doubts me, let it be so. For real love survives even disbelief. Once, I stood by Sheikh Hamdan's poem in the night. His lines spoke of patience, of love's endurance. I whispered, my story is the same. And the moon nodded like an old friend of pain. She doubts my love, though every poem I write is her face. Every sigh is her goodbye echoing again. How do I make her believe in my heartbeat? How do I prove something that never needed proof? I would cross oceans barefoot for her smile. Burn in silence just to see her peace. But her doubts build walls between us. And I stand outside, knocking with tears. Oh beloved, if you only knew that my love is not the fire that fades. It is the quiet flame that refuses to die. Even in storms, even in your silence. Sometimes, I think of writing a letter. But letters cannot hold the ache of my chest. Sometimes, I think of disappearing. To let her see my absence and know what love was. She doubts my love, but I know why. The world has broken her trust too many times. She sees my heart and fears its perfection. Thinking no man can love without wanting something back. But I wanted nothing, only her peace. Only the smile that cured my storms. I wanted to be the reason she believes again. Yet I became the reason she doubts once more. I've prayed under stars, I've cried before dawn. asking God to show her the truth in my eyes. If she could see my soul, she'd never doubt again. But she only sees the shadows love has left. Still, I will love her in silence and patience. Because love is not a contract, it is faith. Even if she never believes me, I'll carry her name like a sacred prayer forever. She doubts my love, but the universe doesn't. The wind, the sea, the sands, they all know. They've seen me whisper her name to eternity. They've watched me break and still call her, my beloved. And one day, when she looks back at all she doubted, she'll find my truth buried in every poem. In every lonely night I spent loving her from afar. And she'll whisper, he never stopped loving me. I walked beneath the stars tonight again. And every star seemed to ask, does she still not see? I whispered, no, she still doubts. And the stars dimmed, as if sharing my grief. My shadow stretched longer than my hope. Because hope is fragile when love is questioned. I used to believe that honesty could heal everything. But now I know, sometimes, even truth is not enough. She doubts my love, though I've built her temples of words. Though I've painted her image in my prayers. She doubts because she cannot see what is invisible. The fire beneath the calm, the devotion beneath my quiet. I remember her laughter, the melody that healed my storms. It used to echo across my mind like sunlight over sand. Now it's a ghost, wandering the corridors of memory. A song unfinished, waiting for belief to return. How do I explain to her that love is not performance? That it doesn't always shout or sparkle. Sometimes it simply waits, silently, at the doorway of the soul, hoping to be let in again. She doubts my love, and that's her right. But my love doubts nothing about her. Even when she breaks me, I see her beauty. Even when she turns away, I bless her name. Fazza once said, patience is the crown of love. I wear that crown, though it weighs like sorrow. If she needs time, I'll give her eternity. For what is love if not the art of waiting? I see her eyes sometimes in my dreams. Cold, distant, yet trembling with something hidden. Maybe she wants to believe, but fear stops her. Maybe she's testing if I'll stay when unloved. And I will stay. Because love that leaves when doubted was never love. I will stay in her memories, her silence, her distance. I'll stay even if she never calls my name again. She doubts my love, but I've written her in every dawn. In every poem that rises before the world wakes. Even when she sleeps, I protect her with thoughts. Even when she dreams of someone else, I forgive her. My friends say, forget her, she doesn't trust you. But how can I forget the one who taught my soul to breathe? How can I erase the perfume of destiny? Love doesn't vanish, it only transforms into prayer. If she doubts, let her doubt. Let her question every heartbeat I offer. Because when all the noise fades, only my silence will tell her the truth. And the truth is, I love her beyond proof. Beyond reason, beyond forgiveness. My love is not an argument, it is a vow. Made in front of God, the sea, and the moon. Sometimes I want to scream her name in the desert. To let the dunes echo what she refuses to hear. But I remain quiet. Because even the wind cannot change her heart. She doubts my love, maybe she should. Maybe love this pure feels impossible to believe. Maybe it scares her. The idea that someone could love without condition. She once told me, you will forget me one day. I smiled and said, I could forget my name before I forget you. Now, years later, my memory has turned into her shrine. Every breath a candle burning with her shadow. Oh beloved, why do you question the flame? When it still burns through storms for you. Why do you seek reasons? When love itself is beyond reason. My words cannot reach her heart anymore. They fall like rain on closed windows. But even rain keeps falling. Not because it is heard, but because it must. She doubts my love, but I still write. Because writing is the only way to touch her again. If I stop, the silence will swallow me whole. So I keep writing, even if she never reads a line. I've seen her face in my mind while the world sleeps. The same smile that once cured my loneliness. And though she doubts, I still thank her for teaching me what forever truly means. Love is not about being believed, it's about being true. So I'll stay true, even to her disbelief. Because real love is stronger than misunderstanding. And purer than pride. She doubts my love, but someday she'll know. When her heart grows tired of running. When she looks back at all who loved her and left. She'll find me still standing, waiting, forgiving. And maybe then, her tears will tell her what I couldn't. Maybe then, she'll whisper, he meant every word. And I will smile, even if she's miles away. Because belief arrived, even if too late. My poetry will still carry her image. My nights will still hum her name. And the stars, they will keep the secret. That I never stopped loving the one who doubted me. For love that endures doubt is the truest of all. It needs no applause, no proof, no witness. It simply survives, quietly, endlessly. Like the soul of a poet who loved once and forever.